Welcome to Prowess Climbing Coaching at Home Exercises episode 5. This one's all looking at the mental side of climbing and the mental preparation for climbing. Now right now we're reaching the end of week 3 of the coronavirus lockdown. However, even if you're watching this at a later date, we all lose sight sometimes and we all lose that little bit of motivation. This episode is designed to help you get back on track and to reset your goals and to get you psyched for climbing again. It's based on 4 simple stages. So let's have a look. So stage 1 is a review, and it's a reflection of the last 6 months and where we're at so that we can set goals in the future and in a few minutes' time that are both suitably challenging but possible to make sure that we're getting the goals just right. So take your pen and your bit of paper, think back over the last 6 months and write down the best climbs that you did, the hardest climbs that you did, and the styles of the climbs that you've done. This will give you an idea as to the type of climber that you are, to the areas of weakness that you have, and to where we want to look to in the future. Great ways of doing this include looking back through your Instagram posts, looking back through your Facebook posts, or looking back through photo archives. It's also a fantastic way of building some enthusiasm and going sort of, oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that climb, or I'd forgotten about that day out just before Christmas or whatever. So it's a great way of building some enthusiasm and getting some energy and some momentum going from the previous season that we've just had. If you've not had a particularly good season, don't worry. You can always take this further back and build some momentum from there. But it's the last 6 months that are important because that tells us where we are right now. That's the important bit for stage 1. Stage 2 is really simple. This is a self-assessment. Now I don't mean a self-assessment like you're going to start doing your tax returns. I mean a self-assessment we're going to look at 3 different things. We're going to look at our strengths. What are we good at? What do we like to do? We're going to look at our weaknesses. What are the things that are holding us back and where are the areas that we need to improve? And we're going to look at the available equipment we have to be able to play to our strengths and to work our weaknesses. There's a really important caveat in here in that the weaknesses that you have to be in the context of what you're likely to achieve. If you're a boulderer, then working on your all-day mountain route endurance isn't going to be that relevant. It's not in the right context. So the weaknesses that you want to look at want to be in the context of the review that you've just done. What are the things that have held us back from achieving more in the last 6 months? Pen and bit of paper, 3 headings: strengths, weaknesses, available equipment. Write them all down. Stage 3 is now looking at the end goal. What do we want to achieve at the end of all of this? Think of it like turning up at a roundabout, and if you don't know which exit that you want to take, you just go round and round and round the roundabout, not really achieving very much. This is your opportunity to be able to trawl through your old guidebook selection, to be able to watch some climbing films online or have a look at some online logbooks and find some climbs that you want to do. What we're looking for are several different things. We want about 5 different goals that we're going to come up with, and probably, chances are, we're looking for one of these. This is called a project list. This is a list of 8 to 16 climbs, thereabouts, that I want to climb at some point over the next season. The key to the project list is variety. We've got a variety of grades ranging for me from 7A plus right the way up to 8A. We've got a variety of venues. Some of them are exposed and dry quick. Some of them are nice and sheltered for a sunny day when you want some shade. There's lots of different pick in here. Even things like approach times vary wildly in this list, so that when I get a day off, it doesn't matter what the conditions are and it doesn't matter how much time I've got something that is going to have the maximum chance of success. Create yourself a project list, like I say, 8 to 16 climbs thereabouts, and take it from there. Doesn't have to be climbs though, doesn't just have to be climbs. You can also look for things such as training specific goals. You can work specific weaknesses if you like. I have a young family, so some of my goals tend to be family orientated goals. maybe a little bit of injury rehab, or a bit of downtime is a good time to plan a trip and have a look at the logistics of how you would make that next super cool trip work. You don't necessarily have to book it straight away, but it's a great way of building some psych and building some enthusiasm. And after all, that's what this episode is all about. Finally, we're now on to stage 4. Stage 4 is the action plan. How are we going to get from where we are now to where we want to go? This is the physical side of things, and how are we going to work ourselves and get fitter, stronger, or better to be able to achieve our goals. There's 3 questions here now we need to ask. Which are the muscles and the specific types of climbing that we're going to have to work on? Are they crimpy routes? Are they dynamic routes? What are the attributes that we're going to have to work on? Or what are the agonist muscles, the active muscles that we're going to be needing to use that we need to work on in the meantime? The second question is, what are the antagonist muscles? What are the opposite ones of those? The body wants to stay in balance, ideally, to prevent from getting injured. So once we've worked out what the agonist muscles are, we need to work out what the antagonists are that we need to condition to avoid injury. The third part is, how do we use the equipment we've got? Think way back when to that self-assessment in stage 2. What have we got available, and then how do we use that to work on the agonist and the antagonist to be able to stay fit? That's where your pen and paper come down. Following this system will give us some more direction, and it will give us some more guidance. It will mean that we're more likely to achieve the goals that we want, and we're more likely to enjoy the success. What's more, when you do get the opportunity to be able to go climbing again, whenever that is, it means that you're more likely to hit the ground running and more likely to succeed. I hope this goes well. I hope it's useful advice. If you've got any questions, any queries, we've got the website, we've got a Facebook group. All my contact details are on there. Leave a comment if you like, and I'll get back to you. Best of psych to you.